following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to Gate City Chronicles. I'm Kevin Avard, your host, and today we have a few guests that are going to be talking about the Hunt Memorial Building. We have Cail, and Kathy.
Yes.
I told you I'd forget. It's my staple. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So I immediately, when I thought of the Hunt Building, I thought about the senior age building down on South Main Street, and I'm thinking that's what we're going to be talking about today, but there's actually the renovated building up on North Main Street here in Nashua. Mm-hmm. And you, Kathy, are the
building administrator.
Mm-hmm. And Cail, you are the
I'm a trustee.
And so one of the things that was a revelation to me, we were talking off camera, was that this place is for rent.
This place is for rent, yeah.
It is, and a lot of people make that mistake too with the Hunt community and the Hunt Memorial Building. Mm-hmm. We're the old library at the top of Library Hill, mm-hmm. and we were recently renovated in 2011, and we have offices in the building, and we're also available for private rental for parties and weddings and all kinds of functions.
What's the history of that renovating? Who got all that started, and what was the reason for that?
Well, it was in bad shape. The building really needed restoration. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. And in 2011, there was $1 million initiative by Mayor Donnelly Lozo. Was really really helpful in getting that. Mm-hmm. And the building from top to bottom was renovated, and we added an elevator. And
handicapped restroom.
Right.
Oh, interesting. Huh? Mm-hmm. Well, you need that there anyway. There were a lot of stairs there, wasn't there, if I recall?
There are stairs all around the building.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky access in the winter. So, but right. Now, you know, we have the ramp in the back, and with the access is great now.
Air conditioning, so for summer rentals, it's kind of.
When we're talking about rentals, what are we looking at? Is there a hall for people to have a function? Is it a dining area? Is it for speaking engagements? What?
Well, the rental really encompasses the whole first level of the building, which is the main reading room, which was part of the library, the main room. There's a smaller conference room that comes along with it, a little kitchenette, and then the foyer, which is kind of a grand entrance to the building. So it really encompasses the whole first level.
How big is it inside for people that have never been inside? I went there when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. It was a library. Mm-hmm. Everything seemed huge back then. So.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure the square footage of the main reading room. Do you know that?
I think it's about 40 by 22. Mm-hmm. We have large tables that come along with the rental fee, and we can seat comfortably about 49 in that room. 49. I would say, but the capacity of the building's 99.
Do you have weddings in there?
We do.
We have.
Really?
We have, and it's a beautiful place. It's got such a great view. If you remember from the library, the look down Main Street is phenomenal, especially in the winter when we have the tree there in front of the large window. It's gorgeous.
So and we have, so we do have weddings, we have baby showers, we have anniversary parties. I'm trying to think of what else I've booked recently.
Birthday parties.
Yeah, just lots of fun things. Bridal shower, baby shower. Really anything.
This is news. This is like a news flash. I didn't know that.
Right?
Right.
Well, you just thought it was some type of building that there had archives in it or something,
right.
You know, and you drive by it. Oh, that's pretty. That's nice. You know, maybe it's a museum, but people can actually rent it out.
Well, people think it's a church a lot of times. People think it's, because it has this Elizabethan Gothic style. It was designed that way, so it kind of has a church appeal to it. So a lot of people think it's a church. They don't really know what it is. So, and I think that's kind of one of the challenges that we have with the building.
Right.
As a trustee, you have a lot of information on the historical part of this. Is that part of your forte?
Part of my forte. I'm really interested in Nashua history and the time period when the building, it was 1903, it was completed. And there's so many architectural aspects that are just fascinating. We have, if you were in the library, you may remember some glass floors. Do you remember a glass ceiling that you could?
That I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
I just remember books and, oh, look at them all.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Well, there's a glass floor between the foyer and then one of the offices, and that ceiling or floor was blacked out during World War II because of the air raids or the potential air raids.
Interesting.
So lots of little things about that are really fascinating.
Did they
to me.
restore it? Is it still the glass floor there?
It is.
still
Can you
It
walk
is.
on it?
You can.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
like the floor of one of the offices that is currently for rent.
Oh, that is
So-
interesting.
Right.
And
That's worth just to walk in and look at.
It
It
is.
is.
And that office also has the skylight, so you can see the clock. You have your own clock there. So it's,
So when people walk in, do they just walk into this room and then they look around, this is pretty, or can are there other rooms? Can they walk up throughout the building? Is it open throughout the entire building?
Well, I mean, we have some private offices. I know there's been talk about maybe trying to get people to be able to go up to the clock tower. Cail was just recently featured in the Telegraph to really highlight the tower and the building and all that kind of stuff. So we've had some discussion about that. We haven't really gotten.
right.
know.
It's not, it's really only open by appointment
Right.
now because we're not staffed.
Sure.
Kathy,
Tammy
yeah.
No.
She takes care of
24/7.
appointments,
Right.
right. So you would have to have, organize a tour or arrange
Right.
a tour to come in and see.
Right.
But there are times, and we're trying to be open more to the public throughout the year. And just this past year, we had our first Festival of Trees, the Christmas trees.
Right.
So the public can come in and check out the main floor. And then we have
The whole community got involved with that too, didn't they?
they did. We had 25 trees that were donated by businesses and organizations. It was beautiful. It was great, and we're hoping to grow that this year.
Right.
So,
Oh, that's a neat idea.
yeah.
That is a really neat
and be
idea.
open for more hours so more people can come in.
Dumb question, is there a kitchen in there?
There is. It's like a little kitchenette, sort of.
It's like a little catering kitchen, and that's one of our goals on the board is to really update that kitchen and make it more usable for private functions like weddings. We would really like to promote those. Just because of the architecture and the grandness.
Well, yeah, everybody, when you think of a small wedding, they all go to the Stone Church in Hudson, right? It's pretty.
Right.
I've been to a few there. It's really nice. It'd be nice to see them on Main Street. That's kind of a
Yeah.
celebratory.
Well, you have so many options. You can, if you don't want to have your meal there, you have all the great restaurants on Main Street that you can go down and entertainment. It's a
Maybe
great
Fody's
place.
or one of the local restaurants
Right.
could cater to it.
Right.
Now that's where Fody's used to be,
It
right?
is.
And then they moved it.
Isn't that hard to believe? It's
They
hard to picture
did.
that, huh?
Well,
They
back,
did.
that they actually moved the entire building
Right.
right across the street. And why did they do that?
Well, because that was the site that they wanted the library to be.
They wanted it to be
Actually,
visible from that position.
The,
yeah.
Wow.
the money to build the library was donated 10 years earlier than 1903. And it took that long to decide and come together on which spot was going to be the best place for the library in Nashua. And that spot was the one that, you can see it down Main Street. You see all the iconic pictures.
That-
Right.
That's the spot.
We got it on the beginning of our show, right?
Right.
And I didn't even know it. And I took the picture.
So when all that came together and they finally, acquired the lot and they moved, the Greeley building is what Fody's was called before, and they moved it over on logs. And it still has some big hooks on the side. You can see there are these big iron circles where they had the chains and moved it over on logs to the position now.
Now, how much of the lawn belongs to the hunt? Is there a little bit of lawn for people to have a ceremony out there, or is it all pretty much inside?
Well, most people have it inside because it is
Right.
busy on the street, but it's pretty to take some pictures. Like when the trees are blooming right out there, we have a little garden. So it is a nice location, and it's also close to Greeley Park. So some people or brides would like to go up to Greeley Park, have some pictures taken, and then
Right.
the building's right there. So
Yeah, it's a
pretty
beautiful part of town.
convenient.
It really
Yeah.
is. So tell me about renting it out. Is it hard? Do you have to do a month in advance, a week in advance? Do you have to do insurance? What does that entail?
Well, basically, you know, I get calls or emails or texts or whatever, people just inquiring about dates. You know, you can arrange to come see it by either giving us a call, sending me an email, and I can set up a time for you to come in and view the building. Most people who see it want to have an event there.
Sure.
So it just requires a deposit, that you put down a deposit. You do have to get an insurance certificate.
Okay.
And you can do that through the city of Nashua, so it's very easy. We have a program that they use, so
Right.
it makes it very easy for people to do that. And it's pretty, you know, it's pretty simple. We are booking. We have quite a few events scheduled for the rest of the year, but we are, you know, we do get booked up.
What's your off season?
I would say January, probably after the holidays.
Really?
Right, right.
So do you normally want to do it a month in advance, a couple of months in advance, just so that you're...
I think so, just
If
to
you
get
wanna
the dates.
secure a spot,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
If you want
Yeah.
to get the dates. I actually have a theater company who's looking to book a week in January, which is great for us because it is our off season for weddings and parties like
A
that. So
theater company. Now, what
Yeah.
would they do there?
they would put on a little production. We actually, one of our tenants is a theater group. And so they, quarterly, they'll put on a play within the building, which is really nice.
Is there a podium for people to do a play?
Well, they kind of create their own stage.
Right.
Sometimes they have it in the foyer. It's the setting of the production. So.
Usually when people want to rent a hall, there's always issues with the sound. How available is that, or do you need it? Are the acoustics so good that you don't need a sound equipment?
The acoustics are great. The space is not really big enough that you would have to have anything major for sound. But, I mean, we've had, you know, companies come in and do sound there, so it's, I think the acoustics are,
Yeah.
they're beautiful. And we have a piano there that was also built in 1903. It was donated by Mary Goyette because it was the piano was the same year as the building.
Right.
And that's available for use too.
Mary Goyette. That I had a teacher, a music teacher named Mrs. Goyette.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's not.
Yeah.
But she was. It's just a coincidence.
Well, everyone who knows Nashua would know Mary Goyette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, do you have multiple rents during the day, or usually if somebody rents it out in the day, do you
They
have
have
different
it
shifts?
just for the entire day, which is really another plus because the rental fee includes, you know, a rent from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
Where
That's a
can you
long
do
time.
that?
8 to 11.
Where can you do that, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it's really, I think it's a wonderful deal. I really do.
I
think
do.
it's,
We're not that expensive
No,
either. The
no.
the pricing is, it's what, $350 for the whole day for private, and then $200
$200
for nonprofits.
We have the
Yeah.
symphony coming in a couple of weeks for.
Are they gonna put on a play? Or?
No. They're just holding a party there. So I mean, it's the fun. It's really varied what we
You could have a little
that goes on.
ensemble in there anyway.
Yeah.
At some point, you would think.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about the parking. Do you park on Main Street? Do you park down by where Fodes is? Where do you park if you have 50 people, 25
Right.
cars?
Well, there's parking available right there on Fodes on Clinton Street, in the parking lot,
And also, we have a really nice relationship with First Church. So I tell potential renters that, you know, a week or so before the event, if I give them a call, I can ask them if they have anything going on. And generally, they do let us. They also own the parking at the Front Door Agency, so there's parking there too. You can park near Davis Funeral Home on both sides of the street there. So
Right.
it really hasn't presented a problem.
That's relatively close too.
Yeah.
Who's the most famous person that's rented that place?
Gosh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I really don't
That
know.
would
That's a
be-
good question, huh?
Oh, I'll have to look at some of those.
Yeah.
We've had.
Articles.
Did Kelly?
Well, it was interesting. Fox News called one day and asked, they were in town, wanted to do film an interview with her. It was an hour-long interview that was going to air. And they needed a location. And so I said, sure, why don't you come on in? And they came in and they wanted to said, hey, can we thank you and take you out to lunch? I said, no, but a donation to the building would be great. So they did that, and it was wonderful.
So you do accept donations?
We do accept donations, yes.
Yeah.
we
So
do.
there's this quasi relationship between private and city owned. Correct? Is that right?
Well, it's city-owned.
Yeah.
Right.
And the private rentals are our attempt to become self-sufficient.
Right.
Because of the renovation in 2011, where we had the $1 million initiative, we are trying to take care of ourselves. And so the budget is, so we're not so dependent.
Right. Now,
City
maintenance and upkeep, I mean, that's still part of the, you got to continue to do that.
Right.
Right.
But the building is pretty much up to par at this.
Oh, it's
at the standard.
amazing. I mean, we have air conditioning now, which we didn't have a few years ago, and that's really key when you're having events or private rentals, and even office space, because we have tenants in the building. Great American Downtown is one of our tenants, and everyone probably knows who they are. They put on the holiday stroll every year, so people do come in the building for that, and they do know us for that reason. But they redid the windows. I mean, there were quite a few projects that were
It's
on
a
this
whole
list.
new heating and cooling system. So there's zone heating and it's very efficient now.
That's interesting. It's nice. I love this town. It really is a beautiful community, and that right there is a staple. When you walk up Main Street or when you're driving up Main Street, you look at that building, you're like, it'd be nice to have an event in there. Now, there must be a website.
There is a website, www.huntbuilding.org.
Okay.
And we're on Facebook, too.
Do you have local businesses that sponsor? Do you or contribute to the upkeep at all? Do you want to drop some of their names?
No, but I think the Festival of Trees, when we had the Festival of Trees, I mean, that was a big community kind of event.
That was
really
great.
helped us.
That was great. And we had lots of organizations, the Boys and Girls Club, the Big Brother, they didn't this time. Who else did we have? We had the Front Door Agency. We had the YMCA.
Marguerite's Place.
Yep. And then, who else? Lots of businesses.
Yeah, I mean, the police.
See, that just goes to prove my point. There's a lot of people. This community takes care of itself. It just
really
everywhere you look,
does.
there's somebody else helping out another organization.
Right.
And it's really heartwarming.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think, people walking by, we just want to get the word out there because it's a treasure for the community. And the intention of the building to begin with was to be for community use. Not for necessarily for private use, but for community members to come in and enjoy the space.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, yeah.
So they can get contact through the website. And one more time?
It's www.huntbuilding.org, and then our Facebook page, the Hunt Memorial Building.
And please like us on Facebook.
Oh,
right?
please like us on Facebook. Yeah, and we're updating all the time. We post some of the pictures from the parties, just fun stuff. So there's a lot going on.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you very much for coming on Gate City Chronicles.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts at all, or about the building? Anything new coming up?
No, just no.
No, I think, like I said, I'd love to give tours to anyone who might be interested to check it out. And I even encourage people if they want to come in and just see it, because it is for community use. It's quiet a lot of the time when there isn't an event going on.
Sure.
And I love to talk about it, so give me a call.
Okay. Wonderful. Again, thanks for coming on Gate City Chronicles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching Gate City Chronicles. Visit the Hunt Memorial Building and see it for yourself, the treasure that's here in Nashua. Until next week. Gate City Chronicles has been sponsored by Avard, the Dean of Clean, a local carpet cleaning here in Nashua, New Hampshire. You can contact them at 521-7657. Thank you.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.